Hey guys! Today I'm going to be flipping through my bullet journal, which I used from June 2017 until the end of the year. So on this first page, I have my name and contact information in case I lose it. And as you can see from the title, I originally wanted to use this for the whole 2017 to 2018 school year, but I ended up filling out the pages a lot faster than I thought I would, and I used up the whole notebook in 6 months. On this next page, I have a description of my vision for the school year, and then goals to help create this vision, and then habits to reach these goals. On these pages, I have my future log. And again, as you can see, I thought I'd be using this journal for the whole school year, so I have all the months until June, which is the end of the school year. Here I have a quote that I lettered using a Crayola marker, and it's a reminder for me to push myself because that's the only way to improve. Next, I have a list of some of my favorite quotes relating to these 4 categories, and these are things that I will letter out on my spreads to motivate myself. Here I have 2 packing lists for choir camp over the summer and for my October trip to Chicago, where I went on the California Zephyr, which is a 3-day train ride. Here are some doodle ideas, which I mostly saw on social media, so I copied them down to practice and to store these ideas. Next, I have my plan for the summer, so I have my video plan, and then I have the tasks that I had to do every week. And here's a failed summer study plan. I crossed it out because I ended up changing the plan, as you'll see later on. Here I have spreads for books to read and books read. I didn't really end up updating these, as you can probably see. I use Goodreads instead to track my reading. Here I have my savings tracker, and I wrote certain numbers along each interval on this mason jar and colored it in whenever I reached that amount. And I reached the top number on this mason jar, so I ended up making a new one, which you will see later in this flip through. And here is a wish list. This one I also never ended up updating all that often. Here I have a list of my printable ideas and my video ideas. This video ideas spread ended up being updated later on in this journal as well. You'll see that too. Here I have a places I'd like to visit spread, and I drew these little Polaroid looking things and I doodled a little picture of the place. I never finished these, but hopefully I can remake this and then figure out where else I want to go. And now starting on my June pages. So here is my monthly overview. Here are some trackers that I never ended up filling out. And then my weekly planning pages. This was my first week of summer break. And I made this reflection page, but I never really filled it out. You're probably noticing a trend that I never end up filling a lot of things out. Hopefully, I will be improving at that in 2018. And now here is my actual summer study plan. I ended up writing out my plan, and then I didn't come back to check things off. Instead, I checked things off in my monthly spreads. And now here is an attempt at a July monthly spread, but I never ended up using it. I didn't like this thing. Here's a page for testing. This is a pattern, I guess, this blue gradient that I ended up using in my actual July pages. And then here is an outline for the items I have in my fall capsule wardrobe. So here I have a to-do list for yearbook, which I abandoned. And here is the official Chicago trip packing list, not just for the train ride, which you saw earlier, but this is for the whole trip. This list is called Distracted because I wrote down the things that I wanted to do when I got distracted from doing my homework, so I just wrote them down here so I could do them later instead of breaking away from my work. And then here is my October video plan. This is my back to school shopping list of things that I need to refill for the back to school season. And then here's a list of bullet journal theme ideas. And now here are my July pages, and I did an underwater theme. So these are the monthly pages, and then here are the weekly planning pages. During the summer, I only used one page for each week instead of a full 2-page spread. And then here is an exercise habit tracker and a running plan because cross-country summer training. I really like this plan, this style of habit tracker with each individual box, because it motivated me more to go back and color in the box. I don't know why, but it really did help. So I plan to keep using this habit tracker setup. Here's my August monthly page, or pages, which are probably my favorite theme ever. It's a Hogwarts theme, as you can see. So here are my monthly pages. I never checked this habit tracker once school started, which, whoops. And here are my weekly pages, which are themed around each Hogwarts house. As you can see, whenever I didn't end up filling out this right side page, I just put in some random lettering. So this one is not my proudest thing, but I just wanted to fill up the space with a doodle. So here is my curve of forgetting. I use this sometimes, as you can see, but I prefer the printable that I made for the curve of forgetting, which I'll link in the description if you want to check it out. So I switched back to those. And then this is for my cross-country progress. I only updated it the first time and then I never checked it again. Again, I should probably improve at going back to check the things that I make. Here are my September pages. This was a more bright geometric theme. Someone said it reminded them of gummy bears, which I feel fits quite well. So this was a template of the exercises from the book What Color Is Your Parachute?, which is a book kind of about careers and stuff, because I don't really know what I want to do with the rest of my life, but a lot of people make me feel like I should know, so I tried out this book, but I didn't finish any of the activities, so whoops. And then here are some habits that I want to establish. So I can't establish all of them all at once, so I keep them here and I try to add in one every month. And then here are my October pages. This is a Halloween animal theme, and this is also one of my absolute favorite setups. So here is my plan for my Halloween costume. I was Wednesday Addams, if you saw that on my Instagram story on Halloween. And then this is a list of my October favorites. I didn't end up filming an October favorites video, but it's a helpful list to see what I liked during October. Here is a page for swatching and testing new pens and things. And then this is a spread that was meant for my spring capsule, kind of like the fall one that I did earlier, but this spread I pretty much abandoned. And then here is my new saving tracker, which was inspired by Amanda Rachley and her November setup, I believe. I'll link it in the description. And in this savings setup, I color in a gem for each time I reach my savings goals. Here is my November setup, which is light bulb themed. Someone commented on the video that it looked like I was just drawing a bunch of nooses, which looking back, it does kind of look like that. Whoops. This one has a lot of empty pages. I'm not sure why, actually. So here's a list of apps that I have installed on my computer because I got a new laptop and I wanted to transfer all of my data onto the new laptop. And then here is an updated video ideas where I removed a lot of ideas that I wasn't into anymore. And then I added some new things based on requests from a time when I asked people in the comments. Here is a pen comparison list of pens I want to test in a possible future pen comparison video. And then here is my December video plan. Here's some more swatches and testing, and then a list of items that I wanted to put in a holiday giveaway. And then here's my December setup. In my Plan With Me video, I didn't show setting up these things because I did this a lot later, but I didn't end up using these anyways because final season was just kind of a mess this year, so I just used a running to-do list in the Notes app on my phone. And then here's a list of spreads from this bullet journal that I want to transfer to next year's bullet journal. And I'll be posting a Plan With Me 2018 setup if you want to check that out. I'll link it when I post it. And so I have a list with the page numbers and then new things that I want to add in 2018. And then here is my actual spring capsule wardrobe list. There are a couple of blank pages in here. I think I'm just going to leave them blank or possibly use them for calligraphy practice, since this is a Rhodia notebook and the paper is really nice, so I don't want to waste it. And then in the very back, I have my index. For the index, I start from the back and then work my way forwards. So I just have the page number and then what's on the page. And that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it inspiring or a look into how my bullet journal realistically looks like. I'll link more of my bullet journal videos on screen or in the description box, and I post pictures on my Tumblr and Instagram, which are also linked in the description. See you next time!